isn't the best place to find a lover, so the bar is where I go. Wearing 10 sprays, of course, so when I enter the room, everyone will know. Come over and start a conversation with just me, and trust me, you'll smell my projection. Would you like to come back to my place? I can show you my fragrance collection. Girl, you know I want your love. You're about to do something you may regret. You know you can't resist. This is the world's most macho eau de toilette. Last night I was in your room. Now your bedsheets smell like me. That was vintage Chorus. It was made in 1983. Hi everyone, so today we're going to be talking about the top 10 best fragrances for the summer of 2017 for men. So sometimes we talk about panty droppers, but as this is a summer list, these are going to be my bikini busters for summer. Let's check them out. What I've tried to do with this list is I've tried to just specifically focus in on ones that evoke a really summery feeling. So I did a spring list. Most of those would be great choices for summer too, but with these ones I've gone for the fragrances that evoke that summery feeling. So I'm looking for really fresh, unadulterated citrus freshness or tropical notes, things that really evoke the feeling of a hot summer or would be good to wear in that kind of season. So let's get stuck into it. I'm going to have a few honourable mentions. So the first one is Atelier Cologne's Pomelo Paradis. This is a brilliant fragrance. Pomelo is a fruit that smells very similar to a grapefruit, and you get a lot of grapefruit in the opening on this one. The dry down actually has a bit more going on than that, and I think there's some blackcurrant in this one and all kinds of other interesting things. But the overall feeling is a really fresh, citrusy smell with a little bit of a woody, maybe a vetiver, cedarwood kind of dry down, and a few other nuanced citrus notes. It's brilliant, really photorealistic pomelo or grapefruit type note on this one, and it lasts quite well. The only reason it's an honourable mention is that it's actually Smurfy Girlie's bottle. I don't own it, and I've just tried a few spritzes recently, so I haven't tested it extensively, but I think you should definitely check this one out, Atelier Cologne, and you can get this for really good prices online for a niche citrus fragrance. Next honourable mention then, I wanted to bring this one back. I think it's a real old classic. L'Odyssée Pour Homme by Issey Miyake, not the summer edition or anything, just the original L'Odyssée. I think it's a brilliant citrus, fresh, piercingly sharp citrus fragrance. It's got ouzo, which is a kind of Japanese fruit. It's a little bit different to your standard lemons and oranges type smells, and I really love and admire this scent, so I think this is a great option. I want to bring it back, but I've just chosen it as an honourable mention because there are some others I slightly prefer, but definitely a fan of this one. Last but not least then, in the honourable mentions, it's going to be Agua de Colonia Concentrada from Alvarez Gomez. I love this fragrance. It smells of oranges and lemons with a little bit of lavender in there. It's a Spanish eau de cologne that goes back years and years. It's really nice. It doesn't last or project massively, but it's not as bad as you might think it's an eau de cologne. And the price on this is insane. It's not massively attention grabbing, but it is a beautiful citrus eau de cologne. Okay, so straight into the top 10 proper. Let's see what we've got then. Number 10 then, I'm going with Chanel Allure Homme Sports. So this one, I've brought this one back. It used to be my signature scent years ago, and I've recently realised how good it is. It's just a fantastic citrus aquatic scent, sporty, fresh. It works in all kinds of situations. I'd really recommend this one for a signature scent for people, but it does conjure up a citrus aquatic kind of vibe, which to me says summer, and as designer scents go, it's been going since 2003 or 4 I think, and this is one of the absolute best citrus, sporty, summery scents. Next up, it's one that I got last year and I still really love it. It's Popeye Eau Fraiche from Jean Paul Gaultier. It's actually just really called Le Male Eau Fraiche from Jean Paul Gaultier, and they brought out the Popeye Fresh edition last year with the Popeye imagery there. This year, exactly the same scent is available, but it's just called Superman. And it's a brilliant fragrance. It's got a little bit of neroli, mint, which is a really important thing, and a certain sweetness about it. So although some people might say it was a spring and summer, to me it really conjures up the image of summer, because there's something really nice about the neroli bedsheet kind of freshness. It has that real kind of cotton smell to it. Ultra fresh, a bit like Popeye's white and blue shirt there has just been freshly got out of the washing machine, and it has some really nice fresh air going through it. And that neroli note with the mint makes it a really pleasant choice for summer. I think young, playful, not one of my old eau de cologne type ones. I think this can work for young guys definitely, and a real classic. I love it. So next up, this one we rarely hear about in YouTube videos. It's Cologne Amiable, and this is from, Eau Amiable Cologne from Le Couvent de Minimes. Extremely cheap. This is just soapy freshness at its absolute best. I spray this all over my clothes often when I've washed them, and whatever fragrance I'm going to spray after, I'll just spray this on my clothes. It is a fresh, soapy citrus smell. The notes listed include bergamot, let's have a look, orange flower, and mandarin, so it's all petitgrain. So it's all about the citrus top notes. It doesn't really have a lot of woodiness or anything else, but it's a brilliant soapy fresh scent for those days when you just don't really feel like wearing anything particularly noticeable, but you just want to smell really clean and fresh. This is kind of replaces something like Mugler cologne maybe in your collection. So Eau Amiable Cologne, a brilliant choice. You can get this one online. This is a 250ml bottle. Great daytime scent. You could wear it at night time as well, but it's just really, really fresh, likeable. A bit like Mugler Cologne, it's just soapy and fresh, but I think it's better than Mugler Cologne because it's got more of a sort of noticeable citrus element to it, which I find a little bit more intriguing and fun. Next up, we've got this one. It's Ferrari Bright Neroli. This is a perfect summer scent for a man or a woman. It smells a lot of neroli, but lots of other citrus stuff in there. Incredibly effervescent, light, fresh. Performs quite well though. Great bottle. You can get it online for great prices. It's been compared to Neroli Portofino by Tom Ford, but I think it smells different enough to be actually classifiable as a different thing altogether. So it's got its own thing going on. Neroli's actually not overwhelming in this one. There's a bit of neroli, but there's all kinds of other citrus stuff. Brilliant freshness, a bit of patchouli and some woody depth in this one, but it's always fresh. Super summery, super fresh, and a really classy, sophisticated scent you can get for really great prices. Next up then, coming in at number 6, we have Sean John Unforgivable. As you've probably heard, if you're into fragrances, this is pretty much a copy of Creed's Millesime Imperial. It's a kind of a fruit salad mixed with citrus. Fruit salad, a little bit of sweetness, fruity citrus elements here, with a somewhat tropical kind of vibe. So if you like the idea of that, it's a very youthful, playful scent. It's actually, performance for me, quite good. People say not always great on this one, but I find it decent. Great for daytime, great for hot weather. And my other little one that I'm going to put in here as a tie with this one actually will be Imperial Pastique, and this is from Dua Fragrances. The Dua Fragrances one does smell more identical to Millesime Imperial, and I find that the performance on this one is very strong. It's much stronger than Millesime Imperial. So if you want to spend a little bit more money on this one for 30ml, then you can get this one. It's an extract de parfum, and it's kind of a beast mode version of Millesime Imperial. It is a little bit better for me, but I still do really enjoy Sean John Unforgivable. It actually smells slightly different to Millesime Imperial, not necessarily worse. It's got its little own slight variation on the theme. Very similar though. I've got a 125ml bottle here. You're going to get a really good price on that. So Unforgivable, Sean John, or Dua Fragrances Imperial Pastique, which I really enjoy too. Coming in at number 5 then in my summer list is going to be this one. It's the legendary fragrance from Tom Ford, Neroli Portofino. The presentation on this fragrance is just so great. I really like what they've done here. It just looks so opulent, majestic and luxurious. The box and all that is great. What does it smell like though, more importantly? Well, it's a very aquatic, citrus, fresh, soapy, musky cologne. A great take on the old 4711 cologne released hundreds of years ago by Tom Ford in a more luxurious eau de parfum concentration. It is a superb fragrance. It's fresh, it's aquatic, but it doesn't smell like a designer aquatic. It's just got a little bit more of a different kind of soapy, timeless brilliance about it, and I do recommend this one highly if you can afford it. And I have to recommend to you all, there is an alternative to this one that you might want to try, and that is Perfume Parlour Neroli's Portofino. Okay, now this is very inexpensive here in the UK. We can get this one. I think this 30ml was about £8, 50ml about £12. I don't think they ship the actual eau de toilette worldwide, but you can buy the oil. They do a lot of oil, so I think the oils, for reasons to do with that they can't send alcohol in fragrances and stuff abroad, it's difficult for them to send it, but you can buy the oil, and maybe you can just use the oil, or you can even mix that with perfumer's alcohol to make your own eau de toilette or eau de parfum version. It's exactly like Neroli Portofino. I can hardly tell the difference. Only reason I think you should get Neroli Portofino is because it's so nice and luxurious, beautiful. You might want to own that, and just psychologically you might feel it's better. This, I can hardly tell the difference. Neroli's Portofino, I love it. From Perfume Parlour. Okay, next up we've got an Acqua di Parma. The Colonias from Acqua di Parma would be great choices, but I feel that they're year-round appropriate signature scents. The one that really conjures up summer from Acqua di Parma has to be this one. It's Fico d'Amalfi. So Fico d'Amalfi from Acqua di Parma has the notable note of figs from the Amalfi coast. It's mixed in with a lot of other citrus stuff. There are some woody things and other things, but the main defining feature, figs, which smell a bit like peach, and citrus notes mixed in a way fine for a man or a woman, doesn't smell effeminate or anything. Different. It's not just citrus, it's got figs, it's got that really refreshing feel, but something different about it. Well worth checking out. So this one is a huge favourite for many people, and I can absolutely see why. So Fico d'Amalfi from the Blue Mediterraneo line, Acqua di Parma, brilliant niche fragrance for summer. Okay, so we're getting towards the end now. Number 3 for summer, the designer fragrance is Bulgari Acqua Amara. Bulgari's Acqua Amara is a brilliant flanker to the original Acqua. It's got a little bit more depth than that one. That was a fresh citrus aquatic. This one is a citrus aquatic as well, but it's got something really nice. It's called bitter water. Acqua Amara means bitter water, and it's got an orangey feel, some patchouli, and a really great staying power and projection. So if you want a really fresh, masculine, manly citrus designer fragrance, Acqua Amara from Bulgari is a brilliant choice. It's been going a few years. I prefer it much over Acqua Atlantique, their most recent release. I think it's better than that, and I would highly recommend this one. Great bottle, looks like a pebble on a beach, perfect for summer. Number 2 then for summer, my number 2 pick, it was my winner last year, number 2 this year, and this is Creed's Neroli Sauvage. What a superb fragrance and underrated one this is from Creed. Neroli is in there. There are tons of other citrus notes though too. I think there's lemon, grapefruit, there are the usual woody things and some ambergris. It's got real class about it, this one. It's a beautiful citrus fragrance, an aromatic citrus fragrance that you can wear in all seasons if you want to, but it really just conjures up that summery fresh feeling. There are other Creed ones like Millesime Imperial Virgin Island Water, which are summery too, but this one for me is my absolute favourite if I'm looking to wear something from Creed on a really hot summer's day. It's so refreshing, it's excellent. Some people say performance isn't great. I found it to be sort of okay, not terrible, but it's not brilliant. But you have to accept that with such a fresh themed scent, the performance isn't always going to be brilliant, but the notes in here are so brilliant that I just don't mind reapplying often. So Neroli Sauvage and Under the Radar Creed. Number 1 then, what's dethroned Neroli Sauvage from my number 1 list last year? It's Gorse from Laboratory Perfumes. This smells almost identical to Creed's Virgin Island Water. Virgin Island Water is renowned as having a really fresh tropical kind of feel to it. Notes in that one are lime, coconut and rum, and this one much the same. The gorse flower, which grows in England and elsewhere, smells a bit like coconut. This must have been deliberate though. It smells exactly like Creed's Virgin Island Water. The fragrance can be bought, it's an eau de toilette, it's a niche fragrance, but it's not expensive. Here in the UK you can get it for about £60–65 for 100ml. I think it's difficult to source in the USA, but you can get it. If you like Creed's Virgin Island Water, you can buy this because it smells exactly like that. You don't need a sample. It performs a bit better to me, and of course with all those tropical notes, it's just brilliant. It goes on for hours and hours. You can wear it in the evening, you can wear it in the daytime, you can wear it any time at all. It's tropical, it's fresh. If you're a man, it's manly. If you're a woman wearing it, you won't smell manly, you'll smell fresh and feminine. It just works for everybody all the time in any kind of hot or fresh weather. So this is my number 1 for summer, Gorse from Laboratory Perfumes. Thank you very much for joining me. See you next time. Remember, whatever you're doing in life, let's project.